just fucking start. Like, that's my biggest piece of advice to anyone like looking to get into this creator space or personal brand or monetizing their knowledge. Just fucking start. I have so many conversations with people and they paralyze themselves and they try to have everything planned out. I'm talking with a guy, I looked in my email, me and this guy have emailed back last September. I laid out like a step-by-step plan in September. He's in my school community, he's a customer of mine, he's bought a couple of things, and he's like, "Oh, that's the problem. I don't know what problem I'm gonna solve." And I'm like, "Well, just start creating content. Just pick a platform and start creating content around topics you enjoy. Pick 7 to 10 topics that you enjoy talking about and you can tell stories around. I don't care if it's making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I'm dead serious. I don't care if it's about your love for eggnog or Dateline. Just start fucking talking about shit. Sharing stories. It could have been from 20 years ago. I got busted selling marijuana in 2000. I was 18 years old. It's a pivotal moment in my life. I've shared that story so many times. It has nothing to do with selling PDFs on the internet. Absolutely nothing to do with it. I quit alcohol back in 2019. I've told that story dozens of times. It has nothing to do with business or selling PDFs, but it has everything to do with who I am as a person. Same with the selling the weed story. Has everything. Those are the two, besides having my 2 kids, those are the 2 most pivotal moments in my life. Moving to Las Vegas was another big one from Michigan, and I've shared that story many times as well. My point is, like, these 3 stories: getting busted selling weed, quitting alcohol, moving to Vegas. I've shared those stories dozens and dozens of times on the internet, and they have absolutely nothing to do with how I make money. I talk about my love for Dateline and eggnog and Reese's peanut butter cups and how I walk with this weighted vest. I don't sell anything related to any of that. It's just who I am as a person. I talk about how I do 10,000 steps. I've done it every single day since April 9th of 2024. I've missed 3 days. I do 100 push-ups every single day. I've done that every day since May 1st of 2024. I've never, ever once missed a day. I share that. That has nothing to do with business. If you scroll my social media content and like tallied up the last 100 posts, I bet you 40% are related to business. Yeah, honest to God. A lot of it's mindset shit, which of course that's related to business, but a lot of it's like personal stuff. And I don't get like share my deep, dark secrets. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about start publishing content, start building a following, start building a community about whatever topics you want to talk about whatever topics you enjoy talking about. If you're curious about them, you have stories behind them, that maybe that was a problem that you solved for yourself. How did you solve the problem? Share that. What did you try to solve the problem that didn't work? What did you try to solve the problem that did work? What was the breakthrough? What were your feelings before? What were your feelings trying to solve the problem? What are your feelings now that you've solved the problem? Like, all of that is content. And it doesn't take long for people to start reaching out and asking questions. They shoot you a DM, an email, comments on social media, whatever it is. They start asking questions, and it doesn't take long. You notice patterns. You notice patterns. You're like, shit, I've had like 50 conversations in the past 3 months. And about 20 of them asked about how I quit drinking alcohol. Maybe I could put together a product and offer on how to quit alcohol. Maybe it could be a challenge. $47 challenge, quit booze or whatever. Maybe I could open a coaching program and work with people one-on-one. And when they have the itch to drink or use or whatever it is, they can text me or call me or whatever it is. But that's where it happens. But it doesn't start until you start fucking putting out content. And it doesn't have to be daily. It doesn't have to be YouTube videos. Like, pick a platform you enjoy using. I love doing video. I have a blast with these videos, so I do video. Video is the fastest way to build trust on the internet, especially like these talking head style videos. It's such a great way to build trust. But I know a lot of people are terrified of video. So go on Twitter or Threads or Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat or LinkedIn or I don't know, whatever the other platforms are called. Pick one of them and just start yapping, but also start answering people's questions. I did a video up there about, I think I did a video, I can't remember. I did a reel about that. I'm not sure if I did a YouTube video. Just start answering people's questions. Jump into Reddit, Quora, whatever it is, or social media. Facebook groups is a great place. Jump in where your target market or people, you would, that's your target market's inside the Facebook group, and just start answering questions. just being of service. I call it the serve first mindset, serve first mentality. Just answer questions and turn those answers into content that you share on social media. But it starts with creating content, and you go into it with no plan. I've shared this story many times. I jumped on Threads last May 30th. I didn't sell anything. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a fucking strategy. I just jumped in and answered questions. That's all I did. And within 3 weeks, people are like, how do you grow on Threads? I had zero plan to sell an ebook on how to grow on Threads when I started. Fucking zero. Zero. Negative. 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 It wasn't even a thought in my mind. Not at all. And I got dozens of people asking, and I was like, well, people keep asking. And I threw out a question and said, would you be interested in purchasing an ebook on my Thread strategy? And I had an overwhelm. I had people saying, take my money, here's my debit card, where can I sign up, where can I pay you, can I start now, can I pay now? And I was like, okay, people are interested. And I launched the ebook for $10. And that ebook went on to do $14,305 in the month of July last year. In 31 days, that little $10 ebook generated me $14,000. It was fucking wild. I had 1,000 followers, so I didn't have a big audience. I didn't run ads or anything like that. Now, the ebook is really damn good. I still sell it pretty much on a daily basis. It's called Threads Unleashed. But my point is, I went into Threads with I had never, ever, ever considered writing a guide on Threads. Ever. Ever. And even after a few weeks, I didn't feel qualified to do it. I had 800 followers, and I'm like, I'm not writing a guide. I'm not expert enough. I'm not good enough. Why would they buy from me? Even though I had dozens of people asking for it. And then I saw a lady, she launched an ebook. Her name is Katie. She launched an ebook on how to grow on Threads. She had 400 followers. I had 800. And she was knocking it out of the park with her ebook. And I looked at her and I was like, wait a second. If she can do it with 400 followers, I could do it with 800. I have more followers, and so her taking fast and perfect action gave me the confidence that I could do it too. And since then, I've thanked her. We've talked on voice chat, and I was like, if it wasn't for you, Threads Unleashed wouldn't have been born. So I took the fast action, but it was because I was inspired by her. But again, I just started. And I started by mostly answering people's questions, and a lot of times I took those answers and I turned it into content. I wasn't selling anything. I didn't have any plan whatsoever. You can go on my Threads account, Piss Off Boss. You can scroll back to last May, and you can see my stuff. I have 1 like on it. I did get 2 likes on it, and it grew over time, just like with anything else. But you don't have to have this perfect plan. Get on YouTube, create 1 video a week. I would suggest 2 actually. But if 2 is too many, do 1 a week, just like this. Maybe sitting down at your desk. You don't have to walk outside like I do in the Las Vegas heat in June, which it's not too bad today. But just start creating content. That's what I do. I honestly walk out the door every day. I didn't have this idea today when I walked out the door, that what I'm creating. I didn't have this idea. Now, Mondays I try to talk about mindset, so I have somewhat of a theme. I left the house today and I was like, I got to do something on mindset. And I'm 43 minutes into my walk, and like 10 minutes ago, I'm like, I got it. And I pulled out my camera and I start recording. That's it. That's my strategy for YouTube. And of course, I'm hoping in 3 to 6 months, I'll look back at it and go, that ended up working out really, really well. And it is working out well right now. I'm gaining momentum, just about daily sales. Email list is growing, Obviously, YouTube subscribers, I got a payment today from YouTube for $484 from the month of May. I'm publishing the videos anyways, and YouTube's paying me almost $500 a month to publish these videos, which is I call that double dipping, if you ask me. But my whole point is get started. And you get started just creating content and answering questions. That's it. If you need a step-by-step action plan, I'm coming up with this off the top of my head. I would honestly pick 1 social media platform and say I'm going to answer 3 questions every day. And that's all you have to do. Just answer 3 questions every day. And try to do more in depth, 3 questions every day. Like if you're on Threads or Facebook groups, 3 questions every day. And then take those answers that you give and you can copy and paste them on your feed, whatever platform you're using, or just kind of reword it a little bit and share that. And that's your content. But that's it. And it's not going to take long where people are going to reach out to you, you know. And again, start sharing your interests. Like I said, how you do peanut butter and jelly. Just start sharing stories. And again, you can do this with YouTube. Just start sharing stories about random, off-the-wall topics. You know, it's not going to be niched down at first. It's going to be kind of scattered around. That's fine. It's kind of throwing a bunch of spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. You know, pick 7 to 10 topics and start creating content around those 7 to 10 topics. Do this for 30 days. After 30 days, reassess things and go, okay, topic A and D are resonating, but the other 5 or 6 or 7, they're not really resonating. So I'm going to ditch those and I'm going to go all in with topic A and D. And I'm going to talk about A and D more in depth and share more stories around it. And then people are going to start reaching out asking for help around, most likely around topics A and D. That's how it is. Quit trying to put together this perfect fucking plan, this perfect blueprint, get the logo. You don't need any of that shit. All you need is one platform to start creating content on and answering questions. And if you have a cell phone, or no, if you have access to the internet, that's all you need. It does take focus, it does take discipline, it does take consistency, and it does take patience, but it's 100% possible. I mean, I literally get paid to walk around my neighborhood and yap for 10 minutes every single day on YouTube. Now, it didn't happen overnight. It was a decade of trying and failing a whole lot. But anyways, my message here is just get started. Take fast, messy action. You don't have to have this perfect plan or this perfect blueprint. Heck, I don't even have a perfect plan or blueprint. You know, I have frameworks and a system I follow now, but I just told you, I literally leave the house. An hour ago, I did not have an idea for this video. And that's how I do every YouTube video. And I think it comes out more natural, more authentic, because it's literally off the top of my fucking head. I don't have it scripted. Occasionally, I'll have a couple notes in here, but not often. You know, I just prefer to do it off the top of my head. But again, I've been doing this for, you know, I've been in this space for over a decade, so I have a lot of experience. So I'm comfortable and confident and competent to talk about a subject for 10, 12 minutes without having a script or notes. Well, anyways, just get started. Pick one platform, answer 3 to 5 questions a day, and then turn 1 or 2 of those questions into a piece of content, you know? And do it day after day, week after week, month after month. Double down, triple down on the content that's resonating. Discard any content that's not resonating. Within 30 to 60 days, you should have people asking for your help or asking questions. Anytime they ask a question, that's another piece of content. Another question, another piece of content. A DM, a piece of content. A comment, a piece of content. So that's it. I do these videos Monday through Friday. Click the subscribe button down below. One take, 0 edits. People are really appreciating them. I'm having a whole lot of fun creating them. And then also hit that subscribe button if you enjoy this style video, this unedited, raw, real, ramble style content. If you have comments, questions, concerns, as always, drop those down below and do my absolute best to answer them. Thank you.